Okay guys, next I'm going to show you how I was able to engrave on this small piece of, it says copper, but I believe it's brass with copper coating. Hopefully you can see that. But it's unbelievable how accurate and detailed this thing can get for such a small piece. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Stay tuned. Made this in Design Space here, real fast. So you need to launch your Design Space. And then I already have the design here, but I'll show you how to start it out. So let's go to Customize. The first thing you need to do, the most important, is as accurate as possible. Measure your whatever blank you're using, which mine are quite small, and I also have a hole in the top that I have to account for. So let's zoom in some here. And then I start out with just using a shape. A square, of course, since mine are square. And this box here is 0861, so we need to make this that size. So 0861, enter. Oh, I forgot to put the dot. That will make a big difference here. 0.861. All right. And then you always need to remember to make everything into draw or engrave. And so with the box we want it to draw, and we're going to light our machine and not actually put a pin in there. But it helps you to make a template and know where to center things and all that. So it's really great to do that. You go to use this. So we'll change it over here to draw. And that's what I've done here for this box, as you can see. So that's the first step of wanting to make your engraving, is measure your blank and then get a shape close as possible to that blank and size it down. So after that, then I just inserted some, I think it was, I can't remember what those are called. Let me see if I can find them real fast. I think I put flour, I think. We'll look real fast here. Well, for the sake of time, let's just pick something. Let's do this one. So at least you guys get the idea. So you'll need to first always remember to do this. On anything you add in here, you always make it into engraving. So change this. So there's always going to go to usually a cut file. Go down to engrave. Now this is what it's going to look like. And then now you need to size it down. And that's why it's always important to have your template made up. Then you can do that. You know, fit it inside your box however you want it. Whatever you want to design, you just got to keep it, and you always want to add some clearance here around your template. You don't want to be too close to the edge here. Alright, and then like I said, the most important thing is always remember to make everything in engraving, and then when you're done, you have to select everything after you get it how you want it, and eyeball it or whatever. You have to attach everything, because if not, it won't stay together. And after you make your first one, you then always want to duplicate 3 more. So go up here to your duplicate button. So you got 4 total. Select all of them. And then you're going to align, center. Now they're all on top of each other perfectly. And then you need to attach this now. And that's going to make it cut 4 times, and that'll get you a really good deep cut. Every time it cuts, it's going to go in a little deeper. And it just makes the engraving much better, more pronounced. Then you go to make it. This is the second most important part when you're doing engraving, is you need to blow your mat up so we can really see. I use always, for something this small, for this particular item, I'm going to use always this one here, and you always need to line it up. Like that. And then you need to put that on your mat exactly, which I'll show you that here in a minute. One more thing I want to show you guys though real fast. If you're making a pendant like this and you want to, first you need to detach everything actually. Before we did the duplication, I actually did forget to do this for you guys. If you want to change your monogram here, you need to detach, click on the text box and double click, brings this up, and we can change it to the one I want to do. And then as you can see here, it's kind of touching. So each time you change your monogram, you might have to adjust a little bit. So we'll move it in. So you don't want any of the lines touching. And we'll move it like that. That looks good. Now we're going to attach again, duplicate. So there's 4. Select all 4, once they're all selected. Hit a line, center. Now they're all on top of each other perfectly. And now you need to attach that. Now we'll go back to make it. And then re-zoom in again. Like I said, I'm using this box here, and you want those lines just to be touching, like that. See, you can check there; it's right there, and you go up just a little bit. There we go. It's right on that line, and it's right on that line. That's how I can tell. It's right here, and right here, and then hit continue. When you have a drawing in with an engraving, there's very limited metal options you have. So, like I'm going to show you here, acrylic's the only one that shows up for me. Now, you can go to Browse All. There are some other things here, but down here for metal, this is the only 3 options you get really. So I'm just doing the thin acrylic, 1mm, which seems to work just fine. Now, if you don't have drawing, then you can get more specific metals options. I don't know why they limit that to drawing. If you have drawing only for acrylic or record vinyl, or metal, which is a thin gauge metal, I don't know why. Hopefully they'll fix that in the future. So after you click on that, it's going to tell you to load the pen, which we're going to again trick our machine, not load the pen, because you don't want it to write. But we need that, that square there. That's why we did that. And then load in your engraving tip. And then after you do that, just let it engrave, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright? Okay guys, so you need a clean, and really recommend a new strong grip mat. These are the blanks I bought on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. That's why I don't think they're real copper. They're copper color, but I think it's brass. But they were like $5 or $6 for like 50 of them. So here's our little hole at the top. This is our mat. Remember, we're going to do it in this square here is what we set up on the mat. And you get as close to these lines as possible and straight. Okay, push down well. I just have painter's tape here, or masking tape will fine, but you will need to tape it down and just do barely the edges. Because you don't want it to be cutting through the tape. That's really not good for the tip. For the engraving tip, and this is the engraving tool. We're going to load that into our machine. And then we'll load our mat, and I'm going to skip the part of engraving. Everyone's seen these engraved before, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's done engraving, okay? Okay guys, so now it's done. I don't know if this will show up at all for you guys. But I'm going to show you how to get it off here now. And another tip, kind of a pro tip here, because there is tiny shavings here, is take your tape. You really only should use this one time and then always use more tape, you know, every time you do a project. Use the bigger pieces here. But run those over the top of it. This will help pick up all the little shavings and keep them from getting into your finger and sticking to, and also making a mess on your mat here too. All right, so you can just peel it up like this. And then I'm going to try to use a magnifying glass here, but this turned out amazing. For such a small detail, it's unbelievable. Hopefully you guys can see this. I really hope you can. But it's unbelievable for such a small piece how well the Cricut did. Let's see if that works. It's really cool. So I am impressed with this. Now what I'd like to do too is I have some jeweler's pliers here. And these are called jump rings. You can just get them at your Walmart or, you know, anywhere you want to. You need to just pull it apart. And put this in here. Bend it back. I also like to crimp it a little. And now you have a little pendant you can give as a gift or even sell. You can even use little, you can get these two at Walmart. And you can set it in there like that. And thank you, Jamie, again, for the tip. It really did bring out the engraving much better by having several layers there, duplicating it, making it cut several times. So, if you guys really enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it across your social media. That helps my channel. And if you guys would like to leave some comments in there for other things you'd like to maybe see engraved, if I can. And, as always, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!